And
let's go drinking.
Welcome to the Daily Cruising.
Yes.
Episode 21, guys. We are finally legal in so many different ways. It's not even funny. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's got to be good. It's always good. It's good. Alexi, good to see you.
Yes, good to see you.
You're looking like $1 trillion. You know what I mean?
go.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
You're looking like
I'll
one
take
of
the
the
$1
reasons.
trillion. You guys keep the president.
Looking like one of the reasons the country's getting so indebted today. We don't know this. Lorena, good to see you.
Good
What's
to
going
see
on?
you. I thought we were gonna be doing this over
How you
whiskey and cigars, but
21, right? Celebration.
I figure,
like, we couldn't.
next
You
one.
gotta lobby a little better, man. You know what I mean? Especially because I think you know the cameraman a little better than us. You know what I mean? I don't. You know what I mean? You could have made it. You know what I mean? Could have set it up.
Yep.
Send me the address and we'll show up. You know what I
Not
mean?
leveraging her relationships at all.
Anyway, guys, a couple of things that we're going to cover here. Needless to say, obviously, everybody knows it's official. Ron DeSantis is running for president.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that
you
one
were
coming.
not, you know, no clue, right? You were not expecting. Like, surprise.
Yep,
You know what I mean? In the first 24 hours, I mean, anyway, the whole situation with Twitter, we're going to talk about that, the amount of money that he was able to collect, which is insane. You know what I mean? The first day, they really went ahead and got a lot of money to come in. Some other issues related to the Durham report, which is, by the minute, a lot more. I'll cover a couple of points. Obviously, want to get your feedback on that. Target has become a target. Getting very close to $10 billion with a B.
That's crazy.
With a B, $10 billion in losses.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, there's a few companies that don't still see the writing on the wall, but we'll get back to Target.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I don't know if you guys know, but Neuralink was finally approved by the FDA to do things that it sounded like science fiction. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that they're gonna have the capability to do is absolutely very excited for the medical community, and I hope it is. You know what I mean? The possibility is just scary. And then I wanna speculate a little bit about who do you think is gonna be the final two people running for president of the United States. I want to see what your most educated guess will be about that. Fair enough?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so start getting that ready. See
Yep.
see what it's going to look like. Ryan DeSantis decided to make the announcement through Twitter. What is? I want to open it up with that. I want to get a little bit of your feedback about what the whole Twitter experience was based on what you got and based on what you witnessed. Good move, bad move.
I listened to it. I was on Twitter, and it was very shaky for a while, and then things got normalized. I think it's the way to the future, to be honest with you. It was very unconventional. It was annoying, the fact that he stayed in the closet for so long, when everybody else knew already. It was like me coming out, it's like it wasn't news for anybody, so it's like I don't understand what happened with him there. But as far as the whole Twitter thing, honestly, it felt really scripted. I listened to it and I'm like, I understand the beginning, the introduction that he did, like his actual launch, is meant to be scripted. But everything else, this was sold as something that was supposed to be a little bit of a debate. Anybody can jump in and ask questions, but it was a DeSantis love fest that came out there. So, then again, it's actually a campaign launch, so it's not supposed to be a debate. So it was no different. It was just a different platform. I think he is looking to reach at a different audience, and definitely not doing any like news or whatever. It actually helps him. He also put a little video together as well, which was very well put together. So
Right prior to the announcement.
yeah, he popped it out, and then like 2-3 minutes later, the fiasco happened, and then 15 minutes later, then everything got. But everybody is leveraging the initial launch went wrong. Even Joe Biden's campaign, because that was definitely not Joe Biden himself, but it was very clever that they put right in the middle of the whole process, this link works. That was really funny. I got a giggle out of it because I couldn't get in. So I'm like, got the notification for that. So it was really, really, really funny. I giggled out of it. But yeah, I mean, everybody was gonna use it against him. And I think it was a good move for me.
So for me, I tried not to follow Twitter as much as most people do now, but I still find out about everything. But I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference on whether because at the end of the day, now everything is gonna be everywhere. It's like I don't watch the news and I still watch the news. It's like you're gonna get access to the information no matter what, So I feel like whatever he does initially, it doesn't really make a difference for where it's going to end up, which is going to be everywhere. You're not going to be able to hide from the information. So I don't think it really makes a difference on where he decides to put it out.
It's never been done though. That's
but
he wanted to be innovative.
But to me, it's like
the first dude that does it on TV. I don't know who that was.
But
it was one of those things that is like.
It was definitely a risk.
historical.
It was definitely a risk.
Yeah.
It was definitely a risk for many reasons, and it was obviously there's good and bad things about it. Like you're saying, being the first one to do certain things, being forefront. Twitter is one of those things that I came late to it. I'm still, to be quite honest with you, embracing it better. You know what I mean? I think that after Elon, taking over the space, I find it something that knowing where he wants to take it, is a lot more attractive, especially for people like us doing what we're doing here right now. So that can become a very attractive platform when you can do a number of things, and really it's gonna at some point start challenging more and more everybody across the board. But a lot of the existing applications, because that's at some point it just felt like there was a new flavor coming out. There was a new application. There was the Snapchats, the Instagrams, and then at some point you're saying, okay, where should I be? Where does it matter? Is there anything?
Depends on your age.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go like, wow. And next thing I know, I'm finding myself agreeing with people like Facebook is becoming a little too old. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not me, Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you're making an announcement like that, what you're looking for is the highest amount of eyeballs possible.
No, exactly. But to me, I don't think if he would have did this 10 years ago, that would have been like, oh wow, that's different. Like,
crazy.
But to me, it's like it's almost expected. Yeah. Like this is like the world is going more towards social media as a platform that's going to be the number one platform to transfer information. So then it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like I feel like I don't even think it's like a bold move at this point. I think it's like no, it's a necessary move at this point. If you don't have a presence on social media as a politician, you're out the game. So I feel like it's needed.
I like to measure it based on how effective it was. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
By the way, but that actually means that he did not get the expected amount of eyeballs. Again, there was some glitches in the system, but that was phenomenal information for Elon to say we don't have the capability to host something at this level, right? With that much traffic coming in at the same. I mean, they were crashing.
Yeah.
They would absolutely crash. At some point, maybe he needed to hire back a couple of people. I don't know, taking a soft little shot to my friend, but you when you're putting yourself something at that level and you're carrying the responsibility of being the platform with somebody who's going to make an announcement. It's not, hey, I'm getting married. No, I'm running for president of the United States. You know what I mean? And so it's a big deal. They should have been ready. They should have definitely been a little more prepared. It took them 15 minutes, and those platforms is a lifetime. You know what I mean? So the fact that it took so long to get adjusted it's a big deal. But with that being said, even when something doesn't go right, if it gets a lot of publicity, it's that what I mean? It's like there's no such a thing as bad marketing. I don't know. That concept is being put to the test right now. I don't know the Target will agree with that statement anymore, or the Bud Light or Budweiser in general. Yeah. But the announcement was made, like I said, no surprises, anybody else, and within 24 hours, he's able to raise $8.2 million faster than the first 24 hours of following the announcement of Donald Trump. guys, he definitely needs to be out there raising money, right?
Yeah, because he doesn't have it.
He's not a billionaire who's gonna put out there his own money
Gotcha.
to say I'm
Yeah,
running
yeah.
for president. And so there's always that idea that at some point you're gonna have no choice but to
Yeah.
sit down and make a deal with the devil.
But at the same time, he is getting I'm hearing his name a lot more than almost anybody else that you could think of, that of the people that are the potential runners. So then that's going to save him some money. The fact
Yeah.
that he has all this other stuff going on, whether it's good or bad, so
You mean the
people
fight
are
with
talking
this,
about
the
him. Yeah,
immigration,
correct.
Which probably at this point everybody's saying, well, maybe that was part of the overall strategy.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
very
like,
possible.
and so I mean, but the issue right now with the whole situation is, this is right now he's definitely not the front runner,
Yeah.
but he is the second person when it comes to the whole. Then everybody else doesn't even come close. It's him, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump, obviously former President Donald Trump is leading, basically double the lead on DeSantis right now. Let's see. It's very early, to see where this is going to go. But the announcement was different, risky. I think it was interesting. He's out there right now, running, answering a lot of questions.
He's been out there. He's been traveling to other countries and other cities and stuff like
But
that.
what I'm
So
saying
it's
to you is
like-
that the whole idea that you, and I agree with you, it was way too scripted. You know what I mean? But they made it clear. We were like literally reading. Like, you know what I mean? They made the announcement because a lot of people complain about the fact that it sounded, everybody expected a little more of a Q&A session or a real debate taking place, different. Sounded like they were reading, like we were reading a paper. You know what I mean? It was absolutely scripted. But
He had a playbook.
But just so you know what I mean, every other interview that he's doing right now, or even when he shows up anywhere, you know what I mean, there's a couple of little cue cards, you know what I mean, and then the guy is taking questions, he's answering questions, and he's not playing the game of let me just choose this person. And he's taking some tough questions right now because he's got to prove that he's the right person to be, that he's got the temperament, that he's the right person to replace Donald Trump. But early during the whole, he has done for us who happen to be here in the state of Florida. I will come to the conclusion from my part. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I will say that as of this moment, the job that he has done here
Phenomenal.
is remarkable.
Yeah.
In terms of the amount of people that are moving in this direction. Just because of the way the economy and everything is flowing, multi-billion-dollar companies that made the choice to say we're going out there. So,
I like
he's gonna be running on a sequence of accomplishments and in very clear positions about where he wants the country to go, from education to immigration to you'll name it, taxes. You know what I mean? So
For me, look, you 100% cannot deny that DeSantis did an incredible job with Florida. I was one of those that I was dying to get out of this, out of Orlando specifically, for a really long, I think since I moved to the U.S. I've been wanting to move out of here, and I was looking at different cities and stuff like that. The moment COVID happened, I fully made a decision to say, I am moving within the state of Florida, but I'm not getting out of Florida just based on this guy. So he did a phenomenal job. For me, a couple of things that are my concerns is the fact that he doesn't have the money, so he is going to be, he is at risk of being bought more than Trump. It's like somebody with very deep pockets can come in and they say, look, we'll put this amount of money in your hands and we're going to be able to help you
how
do this.
bad do you want it?
Are you
willing to make a deal with the devil?
Right now, I mean, it's a conspiracy theory right now, but it's saying that Soros is funding him. That's a name that we don't like to see. I know that there's a couple of things
that's
that are
like
being said. So it's
that's
like
super extreme.
no, I understand. I understand, but it's like, but then again, it's like, it's an easy thing to understand just because he doesn't have the money. He's not the billionaire guy, So, again, it's the same thing with other candidates that run, and they have to kind of, you said it yourself, right? They're going to have to negotiate with the devil at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be that devil, but there's a couple other.
So
devils
that puts
we
him
have
at
to worry
risk of
about.
being the establishment guy.
100%.
That puts him at risk of, again, making a deal with the devil. That also puts him at risk of, starting with a clear set of principles, and by the time he gets to the White House, everybody's getting a different.
Flippy floppy, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't think he'll do it.
I don't. I think.
I'm hoping
as
so.
of this moment,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think this guy is one of those guys that feels like he's got something to prove.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying, what I mean is, I don't think he'll take the bribe or take the no. I'm gonna do this the right way. I believe he's that much
What
of a
makes you
stand-up
say that?
person. I think he really wants to be a good person. But unfortunately, I think it's gonna hurt him in the
I think
process.
Disney's gonna go.
Not even what I'm saying is, I think he really wants to be good. He wants to be a good politician. He wants to be a good president. But I think that's gonna hurt him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he'll be the person to say, "No, I'm not gonna take your bribe." And then guess what? Now you got less friends. He's gonna be the person to say, "No, I'm not gonna put up for what I'm gonna do what I believe in." And then it's gonna create enemies. So I think he's actually a great person. But I think it's gonna cause him.
Well,
to,
the most critical commercial out there
yeah.
right now is a commercial stating that during his run for governor, you know what I mean, that he was literally seriously struggling just during even the primaries, you know what I mean, to become that person, and it was precisely because of the
Trump
endorsement that he got from Donald Trump. You know what I mean, that he absolutely picked up all the momentum that was needed. Took it all the way to the governor's mansion, and I was very grateful to Donald Trump. Everybody was saying, well, now he's going to be just a guy for Donald under. That was one of the reasons why a lot of people at some point did not believe that he was going to be running, because now he's being portrayed as a guy who was disloyal a little bit. You know what I mean? But it's like, the guy to help you get there. Now you want to challenge, you know what I mean, his so you know what I mean, so that was a brutal commercial, you know what I mean. I was like, wow, man. But I'm gonna tell you, regardless of how ugly it actually gets, I love the fact that you actually have two people that have a lot of weight. The other criticism is that he's being considered a regional guy, meaning you're a very good governor. But that doesn't mean that you're ready to play it at a global level. You know what I mean? Regional, global.
What would make somebody be ready at a global level?
A little more, either.
And when they say that, because a lot of people talk about it, and it's like, okay, that sounds awesome. Well, he's only had experience on a regional level. You know what I mean?
Correct.
I think he'll be fine.
I mean, there's a number of factors, but to be quite honest with you, they couldn't make the same accusation about Donald Trump.
Trump had no experience on no regional level or nothing. He didn't have office experience.
But the only difference is, when you play with that kind of money, when you're playing business at that level, when you're doing things that will force you to sit down with presidents and prime ministers, because you bring in projects into another country somewhere somehow you kind of learn a little bit, and then you cannot be the guy that has that kind of money and have the ability to avoid dealing with politicians around you. You know what I mean? Because for many years before he announced that he was running as a Republican, Democrats used to love the guy because every fundraising event, come on, Donald, let's have, because they knew that he was going to cut a check. You know what I mean? So he knew the game at that level. I think that Ron DeSantis is that guy, like you're saying, that for many years has been fighting to put himself into this position. If you look at his whole life history, you know what I mean, guys that goes into the Navy, you know what I mean, he his service, and then goes into it's not Yale, it's that he go into Harvard. Absolutely, he goes into Harvard. I mean, if you just follow his whole trajectory, you realize, this guy was being groomed, or he was grooming himself, which would be even more special. You know what I mean, when you're saying you can bootstrap yourself, you know what I mean, to get yourself to that point. Well, whatever the case may be, very early on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am definitely looking forward to see what these debates are going to look like.
Yeah, it's
I think it's going to be
interesting.
just based on the
Yes.
commercials alone. You know what I mean? It's going to be like a WWE type of
That's true.
event. Somebody's going to get body slammed. So, you know what I mean?
Get the chair.
Yeah, that's funny.
Somebody's getting body slammed, man. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
man.
but let's see how it goes. But you know, wish them well. I think it's going to be healthy for the country to see
Yeah,
the debate.
I like it.
It's a valuable
And
thing.
That's one of the other things. I mean, August is when the debates start,
Mhm.
right? So what I like is that there's, Team Scott jumped in as
Mhm.
well, and there's a couple other people. Look, we get to like see them hatch it out, and you can really get to see a position. So,
Mhm.
you know, I like to see that as well because I think it's healthy for everybody to not just follow whatever news media is saying or somebody else is saying. Is you also having the opportunity
To
to
see.
okay, what is this dude thinking?
Mhm.
Okay, oh, this guy asked a really good question. How's he gonna come back to it?
Mhm.
Is he gonna change it the next time around? So that is really healthy, and I think he brings especially with the pool that he's bringing. He's not bringing a little
Mhm,
pool.
mhm.
He's bringing a lot of people in. I think it will also diversify and make it better on the debate stage.
Well, I will tell you, for me, I will close in my end just by telling you that not even so much about him. I'm actually extremely happy about what happened with Twitter. You know what I mean? I think that, again, they got exposed. You know what I mean? That was a company that was not ready to operate as a platform that has the capability to do
Yeah.
these things. You know what I mean? It was very obvious. You know what I mean? That they assume that they have the capability.
Right.
But I absolutely love the direction he's heading when it comes to these things, because if right now that's going to be a place where you can speak your mind pretty
Yeah.
much, you know what I mean? If you can say this is my position, and you don't have to be concerned about just being taken down every
That's
step
true.
of the way. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
I think that's going to be an interesting combination. It's forcing me to pay a lot more attention to the platform. You know what I mean? To see where we go with it. But that's how it is. You know what I mean? And I know that you're saving your vote for Donald Trump, but I'm sure you're.
I didn't say that.
He's
No.
got his MAGA,
No, I didn't say that.
hat somewhere
No,
going around.
no.
But
I
anyway,
could tell you between those two, or you want to wait? We're gonna wait for it.
you don't want to do it here right now? You know?
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying because I know we're gonna. I mean, you said the top. Two.
I want to show. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We'll
That's
wait,
gonna
we'll
be
wait.
fun at
Yes,
the end.
yes,
That's
yes.
gonna be fun. But anyway, guys, listen. This, the Durham report. John, special counsel. You know, John Durham, a guy that has a lot of credibility from everybody. Even Democrats were praising him when he was. Assigned the
anymore.
job. They don't like him anymore. But at that point, they were saying a lot of good things about the guy being definitely somebody with a great deal of credibility, and it's just amazing to see the kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The end result is very clear that there was a very well coordinated effort by the Clinton campaign to disseminate fake allegations against Donald Trump. And it's very obvious that they were extremely successful. The whole argument about the Steele dossier, the Kremlin Russian connection, not only that it was absolutely false, but at the end it was paid by Hillary Clinton's campaign. I just you don't understand why is it that people. It's only a few groups of people that are mentioning these things and talking about it. When you're talking about the rule of law and nobody should be about the law, and when somebody was saying to me, "Hey, what do you think about the whole situation with Donald Trump?" I said, "Listen, if he committed a crime, he should pay for it. What do you? I mean, there
Right.
should be no account. But the same applies to somebody like Hillary Clinton. The same applies to everybody that was involved."
Biden.
Listen, the Obama administration knew that this was taking place, right? But here you have somebody that not only that she created the condition that led to this man being villainized in a way that like you haven't seen that kind of attack going on. But one of the main allegations that in addition to the whole dossier was that there was a server from a bank. It was called Alpha Bank. It's a Russian bank,
Okay.
right? and they were saying that that Hillary tweeted the fact that it appears that there's finally a connection between the servers and there's a real finally there's no doubt that there is that all of that was fake. She knew that it was fake when she was saying it. Everybody that was behind the whole situation was saying they knew that the whole thing was fake because there was no such a thing as a server from the bank connecting to a server that dealt with the Trump campaign or the camp, the Trump business, anything that you want to call it. There was no connection whatsoever. So the DOJ and the FBI, I remember asking you the other day, who do you think is running this country?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, according to Tulsi Gabbard, she's saying, I think that the Clintons still have a lot more power than just think about, first of all, how many people die around them every time somebody was, there was an investigation getting close to like, he ended up hanging himself, but there was a shotgun wound to his chest. How do you hang yourself and then shoot yourself with a shotgun? Like I
just really wanted to make sure he was dead then.
I like some of the stuff though. If it wasn't,
The note was written after.
if it wasn't something
That
to
was
really be concerned about, it would be absolutely funny. But you know what I mean. But
It sounds like a damn South Park episode.
but it appears that the interesting thing is that everybody. By the way, right? So right now everybody's is suggesting that is Obama, Barack Obama, former President Obama, running the current White House, right? But he's the one. And then people are saying, not really. You know what I mean? The people that still carry that level of power happen to be the Clintons. You know what I mean? When it comes to DOJ, FBI, when you think about the fact that every single scenario that has been as scandalous out there, that anybody else, you and I definitely would be like doing time, top of the table, like being arrested 1,000 times, you know what I mean? And nothing. There's not even a suggestion. That
Well, I mean, look at the New York Times. A couple of the reporters, they actually got Pulitzer prizes on the reporting of his big lie, and so it's a political scandal that is being perpetrated by a political campaign, which is the Hillary Clinton, specifically backed by a political party, which is the DNC.
and it's a criminal
And it's, but
Like, how do we hide
been
that?
like, it's been like kerosene on the fire by media in general, specifically some different, but it's a lie. And who the hell is being held
So
accountable?
what if we get everybody very distracted by putting a couple of books throughout the school system that talks about crazy stuff that everybody has no choice but what if we get everybody very distracted and we get all this transgender conversations going on
Well, this is
so
happening?
that
Is that
you're
what you're
not
saying?
paying attention to a lot of stuff, because who's talking about this? I mean, other than people that are really paying attention to.
So hang on, because then like are you concerned about what your children are seeing in school? Because that's also something to pay very much attention to.
It's super
You know what I
important.
mean? So say, and then also it's
Super important. But the people that absolutely have the power to make some of these things happen and to not criminalize things that should be criminal happen to be people that are not being, that at this point, there's nobody who actually believes that the current Department of Justice, FBI, CIA, there's nobody that believes that they're going to do anything to Hillary Clinton. Nobody. Like this lady is.
What do you mean? What about the FBI people that investigated the thing as well?
She was absolutely thinking about maybe running one more time. Just to see. To see. Why not?
So
Let's see what happens.
Here's my question though. So, what is it that she did that would get her arrested? Not that was wrong, but to say, okay, you did. You get what I'm saying? Because
meddling with a political campaign.
No,
in order for you to change the election.
I get it, but you would have to prove that she knew that was her intention and that's what she was doing, versus if I believe that this is the truth, even though it is a lie, but I believe it's the truth, and I now talk about something that I believe is the truth, I'm not committing a crime.
So what
by,
about?
do you get what I'm saying?
So the different realities. Let me tell you where your position actually applies. The three of us are involved. You're running for something, right? Now we decided that we're gonna go do something crazy. We're just not telling you.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do something crazy against that other person that's running out there. We're just gonna come up and say that the guy has like 26 wives and 123 children that hasn't been recognized. We're just gonna come up with something great, but you don't know anything about that, right? As a matter of fact, then we take some of the money from the campaign and we start paying people to come up and say certain things, right? And just and then you have absolutely nothing to do with it. But the language of this report said was coordinated by. That's a little different. Yeah. That's what it. And money was put into it. A guy ended up getting a president is impeached.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like what about the tax dollars that went into the whole investigation from beginning to end about allegations and people?
They needed to do an investigation about the investigation.
But it wasn't me. That's the point. It wasn't me.
Like and the investigation of the investigation says you started it. Like you came up with it. You funded it.
No, so what I'm saying is, I don't think they're gonna go after her unless there's a without a shadow of a doubt we can have something solid.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, the FBI needs to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not about what's correct. Versus what you can prove in a way to where you get what I'm saying. So
by the way, but that's regardless.
Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. On the other side, then they're catching this guy 14 years later over money to what is it? Because I don't want to say it wrong again. No, to a professional dancer person, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like over a couple $100,000. You're talking about millions. So why?
Give it 10 more years.
Why is the double standard?
Give it 10
why
more
is the double
years.
standard okay?
Give it 10 more years, and then maybe somebody will have evidence.
No, it's pulling shit out of your ass.
That money that he paid out
from like 100 years ago.
Guys, the money that Donald Trump paid out will have never become an issue. Yeah. The only reason why it became an issue is because he decided to run for president. You know what I mean? So this lady has been running for president over again. She's probably thinking about doing it one more time. She's looking at Biden. She's looking at it. She's like, I think I could maybe jump in there one more time. And if that's not enough of a reason for a lot of people to say,
nominate herself as VP.
By the way, you just said something extremely important right now. I don't want to, just leave that off the table. That's another argument that they're making with DeSantis versus Trump, saying Trump comes into power. He's definitely, again, using the word revenge.
Retaliation. There's definitely going to be a lot of
CIA,
gone.
DOJ, FBI, like all of those things, you can either, they are going to be replaced, terminated. You're going to see, you know, when he was part of the Apprentice, now you're fired. He's going to go down the line just letting everybody say. So what they're saying is that DeSantis, on the other hand, might be somebody who's going to say, all right, how do we get this to work? And what's going to happen at the end is he's going to also get a taste of what happened to Trump. You know what I mean? If he's not careful, how do we get this to work? And you don't get rid of the people that are not supposed to be there, or you don't change the rules right? Which is essentially the mistake that Trump ended up making, right? He left the same people in there.
And they're the ones that were
correct. So those are interesting things to keep in mind.
They were already in position too.
You know what I mean? And the position about immigration. Listen, immigration is very simple. For the current immigration crisis that we have going on, taxpayers right now are holding the bag for $151 billion
crazy
a year.
Transition.
Just think about the position between one guy and the position of the other guy, right? In that case, they're very similar. Now we can absolutely say, okay, so they are really thinking they're gonna have a strong position on that. That's not gonna be that's gonna be a big separator when it comes to the argument with the other side, with the other party. How do they defend $151 billion being paid out? How do, especially with all the kind of criminal activity and all the stuff that's coming in? I really don't understand how that's it's gonna go down. But I'm telling you, I would love to see those institutions seriously not only looked at, but there's a few people that are part of those entities right
Cleaned
now.
up. It has to be cleaned up.
But I'm gonna tell you guys, I put enough time understanding how some of these entities actually operate. And when I keep asking you, who do you think is running this country? And running the country and the thing, but they have the power to place, to remove, to destroy, to investigate, and no one. I mean, in some cases, some of them are acting with zero supervision.
Well,
Very
and
scary.
zero
very
accountability.
Scary. Zero accountability.
Yeah.
Zero accountability.
Yeah, super scary. When it comes to. But anyway, it is what it is. It's the beginning of the election. I think that this is. You know how they say in every election is going to be a life to fight. This is the most important election of our time, guys. This is the most important election of our time. This with everything that's going on right now, economy, immigration, foreign relationships,
Values and principles.
Russia, values and when you put it all together, you're saying we cannot afford to go run on this one.
Yeah, I get you.
Like if we get this one wrong, it's like, bro, it's like
2 or 3 elections from losing our country. We're what?
What's going on in Russia? You know what I mean? But anyway, appreciate your staying on top of this thing. You know what I mean? I think sadly enough, I don't think this is going to be the last time. I'm definitely looking forward to continue to have the conversation about the election itself, because it's going to be phenomenal. How about we move on to some people that apparently love to lose money?
Yeah.
That's no other way to explain it.
Yeah.
Target is about to hit $10 billion in losses.
That's crazy.
They $9.8 billion in losses right now. Bud Light, $19 billion in losses. You know what I mean? Close to it. So between the two of them, you're just 2 companies, guys. Just 2 companies. 28, almost $29 billion in losses. By the way, and counting. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Like some people really said, we're gonna double down and we are going to stay on this until we bring you down to your knees.
Go woke, go broke.
So you said that you went to Target today.
Yes, I did. I went to Target.
Was there any satanic?
They definitely scared.
Nothing satanic looking. No.
If it was very much in the closet. I was looking for other stuff, but it was very summery. It was like very
summery,
beach umbrella, fun in the sun type of thing, and I'm like, okay, so you got your lesson. It's it was a lot of fun to went through Target just to see what was gonna happen. Now I don't know if it's just here.
I don't think it's gonna stop. I don't think.
You think that other companies are gonna continue to?
Yes.
Why though?
Because
why, when you see losses like, how can they justify that? Maybe because things that were maybe already in motion that you couldn't pull it back anymore. I mean, because by the way, I think that was the case for Target. Target had already, listen.
No.
As a company, you put in a campaign out there. You know what I mean? And by the time you realize that something went wrong and you want to move it back or pull it back. Listen, I used to have a facility. It was a simple retail facility, not even nowhere near any of the sizes, but building a display at the entrance of the facility was a big deal. Like, it was,
I got you. Well, it's a space that is
1,000 Ks, you know what I mean? It's real estate. The company is literally giving you extra whatever just so that you can keep them there for as long as possible because they know the competition is coming to move. It's a big deal. But once you made a choice, that's going to be there for the next 30 days, so and so. To just take it down like that, you know what I mean? There's also a lot of moving parts because you don't know which one is going to be the most difficult thing to do. These guys, first of all, they were seeing everybody being set up. They were seeing Bud Light set on fire. They were probably, somebody was like biting their nails. Hopefully they don't know what the hell we got going on. But somebody
No, but you said there was a company that paid for a lot of real estate.
Correct.
Who's paying for the real estate of the stuff that's at the front in Target? You know what I mean? Because it's
So
there's 2 ways to go about it, right? One of them is, again, either you're promoting that agenda specifically, and again, it was a satanic, transgender. Either you gonna go and promote that, but it would be a lot easier for, just so you know, it would be a lot easier right now for me to set up a satanic church than a Christian church today at this very moment, based on where we are, right? So are they promoting that agenda, or is it the case that there was a specific company whose products were involved that actually went and say, put me there, right? And we're gonna give you additional.
Money's for the real.
I don't. It doesn't come across like it was one company, because otherwise everybody would be giving that one company a lot of hell right now. You know what I mean?
So here's
they'll be happy though, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I feel like.
Company gets hell.
I feel like they kind of don't have a choice. So watch this. It's kind of like with cars. There's gonna be a shift with all cars going to electric.
EV, yeah.
Right? And then so every company at some point in time, you're gonna have to get in the game and figure out how to make the transition. And if you don't make the transition, you go out of business, right? So I feel like this is the new way of thinking for everybody. They're gonna have to follow suit. And if Target loses a bunch of money and goes out of business, they're gonna lose a bunch of money and go out of business. And I think that every company's gonna go woke. You have no choice but to go woke.
But they made the adjustment.
But that's temporary. It's gonna come back. Mark my words. This is episode 21. Episode 21. Mark my words. It's
the whole
going
idea
to come
that you
back.
already went that far. Right now, all you're doing is you're gonna pull it back a little bit. But you're not back to day one.
No.
You're just coming back a little bit
to make a new plan.
But then you're gonna keep pushing again. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
It's not going away.
Yes, I don't think it's going away. I feel like woke is the future.
It's already out there.
Yes, there's no going away from woke. We're gonna have to go through it and hopefully emerge on the other side, not all crazy.
But isn't that a whole argument about who we're choosing for president right now?
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like if the president that goes too hard against woke, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. That is the way of the future. You can't stop AI. It's coming. It's coming.
Well, yeah, but AI.
Here's what you're saying.
Yes.
Biden's the president to Biden 2024. Done.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What do you mean? Every single candidate that is coming out here, in part of their campaign little video, that's one of the things that they're addressing. Yeah. So if you're saying that is the way of the future, and you're saying there's no way, then in anybody that goes too hard against it, right? I'm just reframing what you said, just for the sake of they're gonna end up losing. So might as well just forget about it and just.
So what I'm saying is this. There's ways, there's tactics that you don't have to go that hard, because not everybody's going to choose to go that hard against it. So for example, right now, even with all the money that Budweiser's losing, right, they didn't decide, okay, we're just going to go the opposite direction. They're not going to choose to do that. So then I don't believe that
Budweiser right now has no position whatsoever. Budweiser right now has 0 position.
No. What I'm saying is that you're still gonna find a way to get them in the game as long as they don't go too far in the other direction. So what I'm saying is this: I don't believe all the politicians are gonna go 100% against it. They may say things that sound like they're 100% against it.
What do you mean,
but they're
all the
not going
politicians?
to
Have you
be
heard
100%
Trump or DeSantis, which is the two prime candidates that are going against it?
But it's still early. I'm telling you, watch. You're gonna see. They're gonna find little ways to say, no, it's okay. It's okay. We'll accept you a little. I'm telling you. Watch.
You know what?
The ones who's a little bit more accepting of it,
I will grant
they're gonna have a bigger play.
I will definitely grant you this. I think that we're heading in that direction. I think that once the cat is out of the bag, is almost impossible to put it back in. And I think that what's actually happening here is that literally that example, right? That we're gonna push it all the way out here, so everybody goes like, "What the hell is wrong?" And then you're gonna bring it back, but you didn't go back to the starting point. And you already gained this much, right? Correct. And so now you're gonna just, once you're here, let me push it a little more now. Let's see how far I can take it, and then when I go back, I'm gonna go back to exactly where I wanted to be 2-3 years ago.
And people are gonna say, "No, but here's what happened. We're doing better because there's a 1,000 less immigrants, but then there was it's the same thing."
But that is precisely what I'm telling you, that right now this election is so critical, because it might be something that eventually will develop in the future, though.
Yeah.
But I think that right now the country, though, is making it very clear that they're not ready for it right now.
Oh no,
They're not ready for it right
They're
now.
ready.
You know, I think there's a portion of the country that somewhere somehow
when I see
is accepting certain
when
ideas.
I see like a transgender woman winning awards for being the woman of the year, like they are ready. It's just not everybody's ready, and we gonna make you ready if you're not ready.
But that's my point. You have enough people. You have enough
Companies
people
are
right
ready.
now. You have enough people right now that are not ready. You have enough people to
That's old
to
school.
hold the line. You know what I mean?
Because you said something. You're saying, okay, Woman of the Year. Who won Woman of the Year?
I don't know the person.
I
don't know that.
Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year. Was it a Time Magazine Woman of the Year? It's Time Magazine. Times.
Yeah.
It's a company with an agenda. It's a media company. So for me, it's that. That doesn't, like, for me, that does not represent the family that is going into Target to, like, pick up. Super Target here has, like, even food. You know what I mean? So they're looking to pick up, I don't know, they have some family coming over. They want an inflatable mattress. They want a blanket. And they also want bananas. And if they go to Super Target, they get to both.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. And that's the people. I think that's what you're trying to say. That is, there's because there's companies that they'll be like there's.
But beyond that is the now and the future, right? If you, I'm with you in the sense that it's a very scary possibility that some of the things that right now we are calling 1,000% crazy at some point will become the normal. But at this very moment, there's enough people to hold the line. And there's another thing that's actually happening right now. You know, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, and all of these things are dying out like by the minute, right? And so all the other platforms that right now are able to carry a conversation, then most people are going like, wait a minute, you're right. Well, we were like really about to go crazy, believing in accepting all these kind of stupid things that don't make any sense. And then again, there's a final agenda here when you're talking about this whole conversations about, you know, the whole conversation about population control, right? Like, what can you do to also make that a reality? Well, you can, absolutely. You know what I mean? And then get everybody to accept certain things that other ways, and you know what I mean?
So here's what I'm saying. So, and I get what you're saying, not with the regular family. Here's what I believe is that corporations have way more power to influence people into a certain way of thinking. So what will be healthy for families is if everybody still had their own farm.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? We did the, but if the supermarkets and the corporations say no more farming, you buy your food from Walmart, people will buy their food from Walmart. Regardless of what makes sense for them to do, they're going to push people in that direction. Is electric vehicles going to be better? I don't know, but we're going in that direction whether you want to or not.
But
you get what I'm saying?
Point to you is that as long as something requires a set of regulations, meaning political involvement, then what you got to measure temperature, right? Because this really is what comes first, right? The egg or the chicken, right? The corporation or politics. And I'm going to tell you this because when it goes to the housing market crisis that took place in 2008 and 2009, once everybody really went deep into the whole problem, there's realized that 30 years prior to that, it was the government itself that was actually pushing for certain regulations to the point that they ended up forcing the hand of the corporation to say, all right, listen, we're just going to lend to everybody. Is that what you want us to do? No credit, bad credit, good credit, no job, no job. Is that what you want us to do? Here it is. And then we run into the kind of problem. The funny thing is that then the politicians were blaming the corporations, right? What's taking place right now, it's a little bit of that. For me, it's not just the agenda of a corporation, because at the end, you do have some people that are but true believers, you know what I mean? That's what they want to do. They want to see that happening. The one that you're looking at Bill Gates that right now is trying to find a way to come up with a hamburger that requires no meat, so that you can change.
Well, that's already being made.
I know, but he really wants to make that.
No, he's
taking it to a whole different level.
You don't need a cow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're vegan. That's possible.
No, it's 100% possible. But I'm not gonna eat a meat burger that didn't come from animal.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
So it's not plant-based. It's just
no, it's
that's
not
what you're
plant-based.
saying?
It's gonna be
This
meat.
is
Purely
a whole
synthetic?
Yeah,
different-
pure
Plastic?
where they grow the meat in a
Seasoned
lab.
plastic.
Yeah. So it's
Got
gonna be
it. Holy crap.
We can replace that meat with this meat. And then you look at a guy who looks like he's definitely not in shape, and you go like, I don't know that I want to eat whatever it is that I don't know that I want to eat whatever it is that you're eating
That's
right
true.
now. You
That's
know what I
true.
mean? But
Yeah.
anyway, man, that's part
No,
of the.
and the last thing I'll say is I get what you're saying. I just think corporations, in some cases, have more power than government.
I agree with you,
know,
in the
and
sense
they're
that they
gonna-
listen. They can do a very, they can do a phenomenal job when it comes. Nobody's a better marketer than some of these companies. They can put
company that make it.
and the government's going to fight against it.
Influence.
They're gonna fight against it.
But again, you know what I mean. It's not the whole government that's fighting against it. There are some people that are actually driving it.
That's
you know what
true
I mean?
too, yeah.
And that is part of their whole political agenda and platform. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the issue. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to really trace it to a point where you can say, okay, when did this actually started? When did it started to happen? Who was the one who was actually driving it at that moment?
Yeah.
Was it a company?
It happened
was
during
it-
the pandemic.
Or was it?
While
I mean,
people were trapped
no,
in
I
their
think that
house
was-
for
that-
like 3 years.
We went stupid.
That was intensified,
And
though.
they
That was
shut
only
down schools.
intensified.
The whole process.
That was only intensified. There was a lot of groups out there that were trying to position themselves and promote certain things and get into politicians. And the problem with politics is that when you're part of an environment that forces you to think one way, and that's the only way that you're going to get elected, and you're just going to go along with it because you want to get elected. But and once you get elected, you got to continue, right, to your political position,
So you can
your
get elected
politics,
again.
so that you can stay in power. You know what I mean? And that's the corrupt side of politics. You know what I mean? That at the end of the day, depending on what, if you right now are in the heart of Alabama, all you got to go in there is like we're gonna protect these babies. Nobody's coming. They're like, yeah. You're not losing anything. You go right now to the heart of the village in New York, and you pull the Adidas swimsuit with a full package display out in the air and saying, "We're gonna protect this baby." Yeah. So. That plays a major role.
I got a whole visual image.
Yeah.
Don't know where the village is. All I know is the village people.
He knows what a village is
That's
in
funny.
New York. But anyway, guys, listen.
Yes.
Right now, $29 billion and counting. If
not
that's
gonna
not, it's not gonna stop.
It's not gonna stop.
It's not gonna stop.
Yeah, but
that's what
I do think this though.
But the market is saying something.
Yeah, but
You
what
know
I'm
I
saying
mean?
is some companies are going to go out of business because of it. And it's going to get that far. Where you're going to see a company go bankrupt because of their not paying attention to the numbers.
So don't buy Target stock right now.
I don't go to Target, so I wasn't going to Target from before.
That's for wealthy people.
Yes,
They go to Target, right? That's, when you have money, you know what I mean. I understand that. Anyway, guys, can we move on to some real good news?
Go to the
Well,
doctors.
I want to hope that it's good news, right? I'm going into this
Okay.
one, and I am hoping, man, because it's like we are the only animals capable to self-destroy.
Okay.
So you look at something like that. Neuralink
Yep.
was officially approved by the FDA. Elon Musk is the owner of Neuralink, and he essentially is going to be able to install a microchip or actually use all of that technology that can produce. I'm talking about we are as close as you can be to the co-creator, right? As close as you can be to actually turn something that can be literally labeled a miracle, right?
Yeah.
And finally, truly, you're gonna have miracle medicine type of results. And I remember, one of the Supermans that everybody remembers played a big role. Obviously, Christopher Reeve has a bad accident, breaks his back from the neck down, and from that point on, he's unable to function normally. Becomes essentially,
Quadriplegic.
right. And so this is one of those cases where they're actually gonna have the power to help somebody at that level, and to potentially, not potentially, to actually, the idea is that right now, everything is pointing at being able to restore the capability to walk again, to have full functionality.
Well,
I mean, just think about that for a second, right? The amount of people that are saying, and in addition to that, just to put a microchip in your brain, and your capability to remember things at will. Just think about right now. What I mean, just pieces of information that you're like, I can't believe I forget that, or I don't remember what was the name of this. What was that? You literally gonna have the capability, no different than when you're doing a search on your cell phone computer, and be able to bring memories of information. Just because that's gonna be, there's a few things that I would like to forget, but I don't know that I want to remember everything. But that's what it is. Now, I want to remind you of Albert Einstein saying, "I fear the day technology will surpass human interaction."
well, that's already happening.
We've been playing in that arena,
it's like,
but once you take it to
go
this
to a
point,
dinner
though,
place
when
and it's like
once you're
children
taking
there
it at this
sometimes.
level, but this is a whole different animal.
Oh, I agree.
This is a whole different animal. The fact that this man, first of all, again, what do you say about Elon Musk, right? Being involved with all of these phenomenal things, right?
Yeah.
Should that guy be protected, like somewhere, somehow, because it's a very special individual? And then about the impact. How many people do you know they have been in a position or a situation where they can actually benefit from being able to?
So I got mixed feelings about the whole thing. So one, I think they already have it. I think they already have the capabilities of doing it. They know they can do it.
Correct.
I think they're talking about it now because they're ready to make it available
For the masses.
for the public to know about it.
Correct.
Here's my biggest concern. My biggest concern is if this makes someone into a superhero. You can remember anything, you can download anything, you break your neck in half, it grows back, but then will it be available to everybody? Or do you got to be a billionaire to even have access to something like this?
Nietzsche does speak Zarathustra, talks about the Superman, right? Are we about to produce
I think so.
a real Superman?
Yes, but the problem is who gets access to it? Because if it's just Elon Musk and a couple other billionaire friends get access to it, that's going to be a problem. So if it was something that they were going to have at Target, right, where you could go and pick it up, pop
They're
it in.
gonna have a rainbow one.
Yeah.
You're not going to Walmart level. At least you keep
At
it
least
to
get
a
a
Target
Target.
level, right?
So if they had it there,
Wow.
then that would be perfect.
Bro, that'd be
But-
available at Best Buy.
Yeah, I know.
right?
Yeah, there you go. But I don't see that. I think they're gonna have it, and then you're gonna hear somehow. It's like even like with the SpaceX program that they're like, who is this for? Like they say it's for everybody. I'm not sure if it's really for everybody versus a small group of people
If
who
you
are gonna
look,
get it. Take
if you
advantage
look
of it.
closer though, if you look very
Yeah.
close into what Elon Musk is doing,
Yeah.
he's definitely giving back.
Mm-hmm.
The whole technology that was involved in Tesla was open technology. Like
Yeah.
he allowed everybody else
Yeah.
to, like, here's the blueprint.
To
If you,
go, like,
if you guys can go and do it better,
Do
we
it
can
again.
do it better. SpaceX, remember, at some point we stopped having a space program,
Yeah.
which to me was just incomprehensible.
Yeah.
I just couldn't
Correct.
even believe that we got to the point
Yeah.
where, no more space program? Are you serious, right? We have the Kennedy
Yeah.
space
So-
program here. So he's created that not only for the purpose of transportation, independence, but again, the ultimate target of potentially ending up in another planet somewhere. So now
Yeah.
we got to get off the
No,
ground.
I get it.
Colonize
So
Mars.
and
So
I'm not.
this situation here, what I'm trying to say to you is that, make no mistake about it, it's gonna take crazy amounts of money. It's just that there's different applications.
Yeah.
What you're describing is, can someone that has a lot more money will be able to maximize it a lot more than the person who's just gonna gain the usage of a specific body part or something. I think that there's gonna be different levels of benefits, and there's gonna be different levels of cost involved. You know what I mean? So that's the way I see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
at the end of the
yeah.
day, I like it. I'm all for technology. You know, I'll become a
But it's a little
cyborg
scary. Yeah,
tomorrow
it's
if
like-
I could
it's like-
get them electronic eyes
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I can see X-ray.
Like,
and
we could be talking here and you're sending emails at the
correct,
same
correct,
time.
correct. So I
right?
like it. I'll take it. Okay, so yeah, with Tesla. So like I said, they didn't see for a way.
Not
for that.
Tesla, the car maker.
Yeah.
Nikolai.
Yeah, Nikola Tesla. Nikola
Yeah.
Tesla. He had the technology way back in, I don't know if it was the 60s or 70s, where he had a machine that was going to give free energy to the world. Once they realized it wasn't going to be profitable for a select group, they shut him down. We never got access to the technology. So then, even though Elon may have a plan in his brain that this is going to change the world, like he said, he's like, I will never kill myself. Yeah, well, you might find out that he hung himself after he got shot with a shotgun.
With a shotgun.
Correct.
With a little note saying,
You know what I'm saying? The day before.
I couldn't take it anymore.
Correct, right?
I wanted to get off the planet now.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping we're not at that point to where. So should somebody like that be protected? Absolutely, but I don't know if all the right people are on the side of you
Here's
get
what
what
I
I'm saying.
went,
I don't-
and this is
yeah.
a little dark. It's
Yeah,
very
I
dark.
don't know if that was the story of Nikolai Tesla, but we're going to revisit
No,
that.
Nikola Tesla, 100%. J.P. Morgan shut him down because they didn't want him to come out with the technology. He died broke, and he had more patents and more technology that he should have came out, but it never came out. And I'm assuming Tesla was named after him because he knows, of this whole thing. But I don't know if he's gonna make that same mistake.
He was definitely not a business guy.
True.
He was
No.
an inventor.
Correct,
He
correct.
was.
And,
That's true.
and he was not
That's
only
true.
he was a phenomenal inventor, just like many of those very special people happen to be, they borderline not crazy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
true, true.
It's not. This is not just being eccentric. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some people are borderline.
I get
They like one more movement and they blow shit up. You know what I
Correct,
mean?
correct. I get you. I get you.
One
And I
little-
agree. I agree.
One extra
I
cup
agree.
of tea. You know what I mean? And that's it. Out of
Done.
balance. That's it.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. It's just that the difference is that what Elon Musk has managed to prove is that he's a savvy business guy. Not only that he knows how to. There's no politician that knows how to raise money better and faster than this guy.
He knows how to
This
raise
guy
it.
came out and said,
Yes, yes.
I need $1 trillion for it. Like everybody's fighting to give him money. Like right now, he
Well, I mean,
literally,
he's got a
he
proven
literally-
track record,
He
though,
literally
like-
had to put a disclaimer to say, by the way, right now we are not accepting any clinical trials at this very moment, so please do not stop sending. People are already sending, hey, can you try my? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's different though.
I get you.
And that's
I get you.
in many ways that's what makes this guy even more special.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he has the quality of the inventor, but he also savvy enough to
Yeah.
be a good businessman. That's just
like the best of both
unbelievable.
worlds. Yeah, yeah.
But let's go dark a little
I'm
bit.
very
Yeah,
dark
let's go.
right now.
Let's go dark a little.
I thought it was
I
already-
gave
I
you
thought the light was dim
enough
already.
time to cook it up.
No, I
You know, we spoke
So-
about the satanic church, which has been there ever since.
So here's where I don't know, where I fear it could go is the same fear that people have with the whole central, CBDC, that it can be up and shut down whenever they want because it can be done with a switch. How is it if it is become available to the masses? There's also a switch there if you have a
You didn't pay your bill?
Yeah.
Well-
Oh, whoop! Your car doesn't work when you don't pay your
can't-
bill.
Your Wi-Fi gets shut down and you go stupid? Oh,
You
man.
can't leave the house.
You know what I mean? Like that's where I went. I'm like, holy.
You're not gonna be able to go to the gym today.
That's true.
You
Yeah,
watch
it's-
too much TV. You walked a little too much. I don't like,
Yeah.
bro.
Well,
like, for
fully
me,
controlled. Like,
it's
I-
like or
Whoa!
like too much life.
Listen,
Click.
for the people that were arguing there is no God, we finally gonna create a God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because somebody, I hate the fact that you even went there, right? Because somebody is gonna literally have the power to turn the switch on and off.
Yeah. What do you mean? You
And-
don't
and
think
so-
that people are already
And so
thinking
what's
it?
gonna be the currency in the future? What was a movie with Justin
Oh, yes, time.
Timberlake?
Time.
All right, is the
At-
currency
in time.
the currency is not gonna be money anymore. It's gonna be time.
Yeah, yeah,
And the
true.
time is
Yes,
programmed
yeah.
by some dude
Yeah,
with
an app.
woo.
And how you
Man,
react to that?
I don't know where we're going, but
Yeah.
crazy things happening.
I still take it. Even with
Can I
all
tell
that.
you?
It's gonna be
That's what I was gonna say. I feel privileged that we're witnessing these things coming down and taking place. You know what I mean? And I just want to see it happen.
Yeah, me too, me too.
I want to see somebody that at some point was destitute, was just hanging in there, that 1,000 times thought about just pulling the trigger because that condition is so difficult to be able to have that Lazaro moment. You know what I mean? To just get up front and get up and walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or if you
I
don't
mean, it's
think
not gonna
correctly
happen
either.
like that, you know.
So-
It takes physical therapy training and stuff like that.
Well,
muscle
we don't
stuff,
know.
muscle-
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
yeah.
might be as simple as.
I don't
It's
know.
no
Download.
link. It's no muscle
Download.
link.
But again, we're still so early into it
True.
that at some point you're gonna say, you know what? Yeah, this looked very well, but we're probably gonna need another arm. So what are we? This is gonna lead to so many
Yeah,
different. And
I
by the way,
think
the cybernetics component, you know what I mean? It's already there. A lot of them.
This episode is crazy.
you know what I mean?
We
Just-
might as well be drinking.
right, I know. But anyway, enjoy while you can. You know what I mean? Your allowance for stupidity is about to run out.
Mhm.
So at some
Very
point,
true. Yeah,
everybody's gonna have to process that. Imagine
Correct.
20 people previously pre-programmed to be geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go with that? But anyway, guys, the final round here. The final round. This one is super important.
Okay.
Super excited, right? We getting down to the wire.
Okay.
Last two people running
Yes.
for president. Like, you know,
Yes.
obviously the last election was Trump versus Biden.
Yeah.
Biden won the election.
Yeah.
Then the previous to that was Trump
Yeah.
versus Hillary Clinton. You know, Trump
Yeah.
won the election.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alexi, yeah, I'm gonna
He
do it. I
wants
gotta
to.
do it for
He
Alexi.
wants
Yeah,
to.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
he wants
got
to do it. So.
Yes.
So,
Alexi wants a lot
so,
to
so I'm
win.
gonna give you different scenarios about
be
what
good,
the
that would be great.
about the end of this, as based on what we
Yeah.
have going on at this moment, right?
Yes.
You didn't even anyway.
Nah, nah.
Based on what we have going on, based on I give you a couple of multiple scenarios. It could be another redo scenario of Trump versus Biden,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people keep arguing, well, the old man beat him once, he can do it again.
Yeah.
Right? Or it's gonna be no way in hell that he's got anything to run on. That for Trump to lose at this time around would be almost impossible, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be a
My
this-
dead grandma, who's not a U.S. citizen, already registered to vote. May she rest in peace. I'm just saying.
that
I'm
was-
sorry.
To a different
I
level.
did take it to another level. It's like-
please don't take the video down.
This is satire.
That's it. Yeah. I hardly know this person. You know,
That's
it's
funny.
just don't take us down, man. You know what I mean? It's like, could be Ron DeSantis versus Biden if that primary
thinks.
flips, and that's what he thinks. He said, according to him, is a.
It already happened.
By the way, it can also be a Ron DeSantis versus Newsom,
Mm-hmm.
Gavin Newsom, governor versus governor. Everybody right now is also betting money
Yep.
that he's gonna jump into the race.
Is he doing the same presidential move that DeSantis was in the closet?
Pretty much.
He's also going to other
But
states. He's
yeah.
also going to other
Yeah,
countries.
he's traveling places. He's going out there. He's been to
Gavin
the White.
Newsom.
Yeah, he's been to
Huh.
the White House. According to him, you know what I mean. There's no better state than the state of California, even though they lost the highest amount of people ever.
Not to COVID, to moving.
To moving
To
to
moving.
Texas and to the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be an interesting argument, governor versus governor. Well, what do you think it can potentially look like at the? I'm not
Kennedy.
putting Kennedy in there,
No.
which again, to me, he really has a strong possibility if Gavin Newsom doesn't jump in, because I think that this guy just listen. You put the guy next to Biden. You know, it would be just based on appearance, just based on look. One looks alive, the other one doesn't. That would be enough of a reason. It's as simple as that. I don't even know. I don't need to know what your political position is. One appears to have a pulse,
That's what-
the other one appears to be plugged into something already.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what
So
I-
if that was the case,
Yeah.
if that was the case,
Maybe it's Neuralink.
that he's gonna
Oh,
need
if
some.
he gets it?
He's gonna.
Oh.
Alex
He'll
is
be
gonna be
35
jelly.
Game
again.
over. The problem.
Yes.
He's not in a good relationship with Elon
that's
Musk
true.
right now.
That's
So Elon is holding back a
Yeah,
little
go
bit.
charge
I'm
him
gonna,
I don't know. Maybe he wants to switch.
I'm gonna let this one go
That's
before
funny.
it.
That's funny.
But yeah, Kennedy is there. I mean, guys, I think that he really is a strong candidate.
Mhm.
I don't want to, and I would put that. I would still put him out there as a potential third party candidate.
Mhm.
I know. So, but what do you think? What based on your prediction?
Mhm.
What do you think that combination is going to look like? I'm not even going to ask you which one you would like to see.
Yeah.
Because I know that Alexi is going to go Trump, or, you know what I mean? But
It's gonna be Obama.
No, so I'll tell you. So what I believe is not what I want. Definitely not what I want. But I think it's gonna be Trump and Biden. It's gonna be those two, and I actually think Trump is gonna take it. But I don't want.
But why don't you want it?
I don't want either of the two to. I would rather see
You don't think that the country would
DeSantis
be better
and
off
Kennedy
that-
going at it. I would rather see something
Why?
like that. But no, just because I wasn't. No, that's what I. That's.
You don't think the country would be better off? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
to be, and right now versus if Trump was
Well,
running
we-
versus Biden, absolutely it will be in a better position. But what I'm saying is, I think one of those other candidates will be even better. You know, so that's what I would want. But I think it's going to come down to them too. I think Trump is going to take it. That's what I believe. Do I want that? No, that's not what I want. But I think that's what's going to happen.
This is talking about flip flopping here. That's
I
like-
didn't flip flop.
talking about the most holy. How many people are you trying to make happy today? Like that's what's gonna happen. I know that's gonna happen.
It's
That's not what I want though. But that's exactly what's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen.
I just, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'll be honest. That's not what I'm going for.
You're gonna
but-
get some calls like,
No.
no, we can put it in the next
No.
table. The next time, I'm gonna
Alexis' phone number?
No. Not only his phone number. I'm gonna put that MAGA hat
That's
in
right.
that side because you know what I mean.
Man.
Because you're playing with these people's emotions.
that's
You know,
right.
there's people. There are people that are emotionally damaged right now listening to your stuff.
Mhm.
What about you? What do you think is gonna be
I
the
think it's gonna be Trump Biden.
Trump Biden?
Mhm.
That's
And I'm actually hoping that I don't need a closet. I'm actually hoping that Trump
that he wins.
finish
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I-
It's,
So question. Question.
Yeah.
So you saying Trump is better than all these other potential candidates right now than all of them?
at this very moment, yeah,
Okay. I was just
yeah.
clarifying.
And not
What about
only
you?
that,
You don't think that
No, I don't
you don't
think
think
so.
at this
No,
moment he's the
no,
better
no.
candidate out of all of that?
I think.
Who do you think is the better candidate? Or?
Even on the Republican side, like I said, I would go with DeSantis over Trump. But I just don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to play the game right. Unfortunately, there's a game involved where I don't think he's going to do
hang
what's
on, I have
necessary.
a question.
To
If DeSantis gets the nomination,
Yeah.
will you vote?
It depends on who he's going
No!
against. Because if he's going,
Why?
Because he has all of his opinions, and the
if
guy
he's going
won't
against
vote.
Biden,
It's
I will
If
vote
he's
for
going
Biden.
against Newsom,
I don't know. I gotta see. I'm not.
No.
What do you
Listen,
mean?
I gotta see first.
Come
It's
on.
not, I'm not sold out yet.
I wear my flippy floppies.
That's fine.
I know if it was Michelle Obama,
Yes, I'll vote.
I look at this. So this shameless. That's what they talk.
Yes, that's true.
Stuff
That's how you
about-
gotta do it. See, you gotta represent.
You gotta represent.
Hashtag I wear my
He's like, there's a black person running.
Yes. I would have voted for all of them. Like, what's
uh,
this guy's name who just got fired?
Tim's. No.
Oh my God! Don Lemon.
Yeah, I would have.
What about Tim Scott?
He doesn't.
What
make
about
it.
Larry Elder?
No, I would.
No. Tim Scott. Like, guys, we got a senator who's African American.
Yeah.
Running.
Well, I don't know enough about him yet.
And,
So.
He's
And
fired
the-
up though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know
she was
much
really
about
cute.
See the
Yeah, I
difference?
gotta pay
He
attention.
See the
doesn't know.
difference?
He doesn't
Yeah.
know.
Like the other person is a former first lady who has nothing to do with politics other than to be a first lady, bussing
That's
her,
a big deal.
bussing her husband
That's a
around.
big deal.
No.
That's a big. Yeah, she pretty much read that.
The other
That's a
guy,
big
the
deal.
other guy is an African American,
I gotta
but
see.
because he's Republican, he's like, yeah, I gotta see his
Yeah,
track record. I
yeah,
need
yeah,
to see
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Everybody
No, I mean,
else,
at the end of the day, it
I don't know.
depends.
People
It
thought
depends.
Hillary
bro,
was
you're a
classified to
Democrat.
run.
You're a
No,
Trump fan.
not at all. No. No, I'm not down with I'm not an extreme. What did I say? I'm not an extreme. None of those. No, I don't subscribe to that.
We've been talking about woke
It's
for
okay.
a while.
It's all right. It's all right.
No,
This is a place where-
especially the way the Democrats are going now. No, I'm not down with none of that. No.
I'm having a hard time understanding
Yeah.
who wants to be in that camp these days.
Yeah, you gotta.
I'm still a registered Democrat.
I know.
just so you know. But I'm very clear about where I stand.
You gotta.
I gotta see that change of registration taking place so that I can believe it. Otherwise,
Throwing out there.
yeah.
Look, they won't take our video down for my stupid comments because I'm still a registered
Oh my
Democrat.
God. There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. So
Yeah.
that's how we compensate.
But that's
Anyway,
no flippy flopping. Don't make no mistake about it.
the final thing that I can tell you
Wait,
about
what do
this,
you think?
that I think that at the end will be a Trump Biden show,
So we all agree.
unless something happens before the end of the election. He's
Somebody
guys,
get arrested
he's,
again.
he's looking. He's not. I mean, he's looking like a real old man at this point. Or I mean, anything can happen from that side of it. The other side of it is that, however,
They're hitting him with
however
everything.
phenomenal job the Department of Justice, CIA, the FBI have done to protect him and his son, there are certain things that even CNN right now is coming and saying, listen, this is a little too much. You know what I mean? For the first time, and maybe it's because they don't want him to be the candidate anymore. And the maybe because I don't see anybody.
You're talking about Biden.
Maybe
just for the sake
maybe
of
because I
clarity.
don't. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe because I don't see
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Kennedy.
the FBI is
or
not doing a great
maybe
job
because I
on
don't
this
see
front.
Kennedy being embraced. I'm waiting to see who else is gonna jump into the ring. But I think that a lot of people right now are really thinking that he's not gonna make it past the primary. So as of this moment, I will say is Trump versus Biden. I think that DeSantis represents the future for the Republican Party. But right now is these two guys. But depending on who's going to jump in from the Democrat side, if you have a big personality out there, if you have a Newsom coming in, he's definitely taking a primary. If you have a Michelle Obama jumping in, he's definitely taking a primary. You know what I mean? It would be an interesting situation. I mean, I don't know that would be the case for Michelle Obama, but if she wanted to, she can take it. I hate to tell you this, but at this point, I don't understand why this was the one time that Bernie Sanders was able to make it all the way to the end. He's not
He
jumping in.
didn't.
He's staying out of it. He's too busy making money. Bernie, what happened with being a socialist?
He likes capitalism.
Yeah.
A little too
Yeah.
much.
No, he still talks a lot of crap about, but he wants to. You know what I mean?
On the deep side. He's questioning his values and principles.
Guys, I can only imagine also Hillary Clinton's in a basement right now going, what am I waiting for? Again, if there was ever a time where anybody can just jump in, this is it. This is as good as it gets for somebody to take it from the current sitting president.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is unbelievable. But that's what it looks like. That's my take.
Yep.
Any final comments, opinions, complaints, questions, donations, just in case?
My final comment is actually related to the fact that this episode is actually going to be aired on Monday, Memorial Day. And this is just a friendly reminder to everybody that this is to honor our fallen heroes. Somewhere, somehow, it became the start of summer. And, you do you, but also take the time to be grateful for what our fallen heroes have done to protect our country. However crazy it can get, it's still a great country. It's still the leading country, and we have to, take the time to remember the men and women that have actually protected us and get us to where we're here. So that was my message.
Yeah, I like it. For me, the biggest thing I'll say is this: I feel like we just got to be clear on what world we want to create, because I believe that America is still the best country in the world, but there's no rule that says we have to stay that way.
Yeah.
And we got to be very clear on what it is that we're supporting, what it is that we're promoting, and if you believe in something, promote that, right? So I think no matter what, I'm always going to say it, find a way to increase your income, because regardless of what's going on, if Neuralink does come out, you need to be able to afford it, right?
Or not.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Or say, I don't need
Depending on how you
it.
see in life,
True. Right, but seriously, I think we just got to be serious about having the right principles and values, and make sure we instill that in our family. Even if we can't change the world, you can change your household just by having the right thought process as far as what you want things to look like, and move forward in that.
Correct.
Yep.
Appreciate that. For me, I do also want to take I not only did I want to take the time, I want to echo what you were saying about the armed forces and men and women that we have out there servicing in ways that I will tell you, I learned to love this country through understanding that level of sacrifice, the dedication, the fact that in our environment we talk about how powerful it is to have a voluntary army. That is what we have. Today we have a voluntary army. It's a group of people who actually raise their hands and to say, I'm willing to go and die for my country. And the fact that we have so many people that pay the ultimate price for the level of stupidity that we are, just to be free to express our opinions, however crazy, however correct, whatever they happen to be. I definitely want to say thank you for your service, for the ultimate sacrifice to the families of these, members of the armed forces that, along with them, have to pay that sacrifice. We thank you also because we know that you are making the ultimate donation, which is giving up, a child, a son, a daughter.
Son, your father.
Yeah, exactly.
Your mother.
So that we can have the life that we have. To me, once that concept, sunk in, I was truly in love with the country and everything that we stand for. And I know and I agree with you that we not necessarily, there is no rule saying that we should continue to lead the war, especially because there's financial sacrifices. There's a lot of things that go out there. But at this very moment, having a choice of who should be leading, I think it's got to continue to be us. And sadly enough, it's going to continue to take countless life to make that happen. So from the bottom of my heart, from my family, for everything that has been accomplished, we thank you. We thank you for your service. And to everybody else, who is part of this conversation, please like, subscribe, pass it around if there's anything about it.
Yeah.
Comment below, what is your position? What is your opinion about these things? Get
Alexi to vote.
Yeah, get Alexi to.
I think more people think that I was correct on everything that I said.
I don't think there's one person. There's not one person that's probably that is going to agree that you were correct.
All right.
But we're going to see.
Let the people talk. Let the people talk.
He's gonna get his mom.
That's why
Diane, I know you, Diane.
I got 10,000 of them ready to go.
Diane 1069. We know who you are. We know who you are. But anyway, everybody,
Yes.
great seeing you. Until the next one.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you.